Rachel Zegler has completely changed her tone. We're going to check out a few clips from Jesse Grant in the Rubin Report, and I'm going to give my thoughts on how she's completely flipped the narrative and also kind of leaving some stuff out. Let's go.
So let's check out this first clip.
Subscribe
it started
to him,
to
by
make
the way.
me feel like solid Teflon.
Yes.
That it can't really, that nothing can hurt anymore.
Amen.
Because they've said the worst that can be said, and you just kind of say, thank you so much for this. I have a lot of love in my life.
Yes.
That's
and
good.
I'm very thankful.
Amen.
And
Although let's not forget, as we'll see, that she kind of has to take some responsibility for her own actions in terms of throwing fuel on the fire and the things that
we
she
get
said,
to
but
do our work and have that speak for itself.
So what she's saying here sounds good on paper and looks good, but it's so far from reality, as she also responded to this backlash, and she chose to antagonize many fans online through the way in which she attacked all men, and also through the way in which she continued to provoke people through her tweets and add a lot more gas to the fire.
just unnecessary.
It's so dumb.
Whereas someone like Hailey Bailey could say this because she never responded to the fans. She never attacked them back. She never provoked them. She never got involved into any of this online backlash. And that's why she wasn't attacked online to the same extent that Rachel Zegler was. And things...
Yeah, and like Rachel Zegler, she chose to push back super hard. And, it's one thing to have... your opinions, and, she has every right to believe what she wants to believe. I have no problem with that. But at the same time, when you're making a multi-million-dollar film that needs to appeal to a lot of people, you got to be smart about what you say. You represent, not only do you represent yourself, but you also represent all of the thousands of people that worked on the film and put money into it. And you do have a responsibility to present yourself to the public in a way that is going to make it worth their while for working on that film with you. But let's check out the Rubin Report to see, how she's completely switched her tone, and she's definitely been through hours and hours and hours of PR training, and they definitely had to sit her down and be like, yo, you are not doing this right. Let's check this out.
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird. So we didn't do that this time.
The cartoon's so beloved. It's like a monumental moment in film history.
Yeah.
It was like the first feature-length cartoon movie, to the point where it won honorary Oscars and all of these amazing things that happened for that film are the reason that you and I really get to sit here today, because it made Disney what it is.
True.
So of course there's like this pressure of being the first one, having to bring to life the first one, and obviously that's come with a lot of pressure that I've put on myself, and also, much like Hunger Games, there's just a very dedicated group.
Back it up. Did she say the first one?
It is. So of course there's like this pressure of being the first one, having...
Hold on. Are you sure about that? I'm just saying. Are you sure
to bring
about
to life the first one, and obviously that's come with a lot of pressure that I've put on myself, and also, much like Hunger Games, there's just a very dedicated group of people who love Disney cartoons. I'm one of them. I love everything that the Disney company has put out
what you said last
in the
time.
past a million years, 100 years this year. And
I get it. She's just the irrelevant actress. She's just a footnote in history and doesn't really know what she's talking about. But then how about, instead of trying to destroy Snow White, a story that everyone remembers, that everyone watched when they were a kid, and nobody thought it was about predatory behavior or anything evil, how about you guys create new things? But Disney can't create new things because wokeness is the end of creativity. It's why it destroys comedy. It's why they destroyed Star Wars. It's why they can't do anything with the Marvel movies anymore, and everything.
This is why wokeness is the end of creativity, guys. Because in order to think, you have to risk being offensive. In order to think, you have to risk being offensive. In order to create, you have to think. And so they're so worried about offending anybody, or so worried about offending a certain group of people. They're not worried about, everyone who loves the original stuff, or is conservative for that matter, they're so worried about offending everyone that they don't allow themselves to think and create. And so, you know, that is a pretty general statement. I'm not trying to say that nothing creative has come out of Disney, but it definitely shows that there is a big dip, a massive drop in, you know, how their quality has been. And I hate this thing. And so, yeah, and I also want to touch a little bit on, you know, let's zoom out for a little bit. Rachel Zegler, at the end of the day, is just a kid. Well, not an adult, but like pretty young. And, you know, she said some silly things about a cartoon. And so I feel like we as a community do need to hold ourselves to a bit more of a higher standard when it comes to dealing with the nonsense. Like, just because someone else says something stupid doesn't give you the right to harass them or belittle them, because that also just validates their claim, right? If we really want to be better than them and we want to hold ourselves to a higher standard, we can't be validating their claims of, oh, you're racist or you're mean or you're trolls or whatever. Like, if you're using other people's stupidity as an excuse to be mean, well, then technically you're not actually better than them. You're just silly in your own way. And so I do think that, you know, we need to be sure that we call out our own in situations like this. But also, you know, it can't be denied that Rachel Zegler threw fire on the flames. So you don't get to just turn around and act like you didn't do that. You know, as much as I don't support people bullying her or sending her hateful messages or whatever, you know, you can call someone out without bullying them. And a lot of people did. And you don't get to just turn around and act like you didn't say stupid things, right? And not acknowledge that you disrespected something that people love and something that means a lot to a lot of people. And so those are my thoughts on that. Make sure you subscribe to the Rubin Report and Jesse Grant, and subscribe to me as well. I would really appreciate that. And you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you guys later. Peace.